I'm Mr. Chaffee.
And I am Monica Bagby, and we are here at the Academy of Virginia Randolph. This is our Virginia U.S. government class, and we are participating in a lesson today on a community improvement project. All right, so students, good morning to everyone. I hope you have your laptops out and you are ready. Our warm-up question for today is, if you were in charge of Henrico County, what would you change? If you were in charge of Henrico County, what would you change? And so I already see there's some questions. The question has been answered, and there's some good responses so far. Mr. Chaffee, you want to read?
Yeah, so the one student says that the way the schools are operated, they would change it to just a few hours if they had that power. Another student also mentioned that, so the days we come to school. All right, what do y'all think? If you had the power to change Henrico County, you were in charge, what would you change? What do you think, Tanisha?
I would say like the food that we eat.
The food in schools?
Yeah.
I've had people do that for projects before, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. It's an interesting rabbit hole to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Jerron, what would you change?
Like, we should be able to come different days out the week. Like, if we want to come just Tuesday, Thursday, we should be able to.
Okay, so not a full 5-day week schedule. Okay. I see there's actually a lot of schools out west that are changing to 4-day school weeks.
What do you think, Trey?
What would you change? You had the power.
I agree with
Yeah?
What schedule would you like to be on?
like probably like 7 days, 4 days out the week.
A 4-day week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what if I told you that you have the power to change things? You have that power. All right, we're going to start investigating that with our local government unit. And instead of just kind of taking notes and looking at local government, we're actually going to do a project based on a community improvement project. What could you change? So we're going to get to the point in this project where if you want to take it to the next level and you want to take it to the Henrico County Board of Supervisors, I will help you. All right. We've had a lot of fun with this project in the past. All right. You want to explain it a little bit, Ms. Bagby?
Absolutely. So what this means is that you're going to have an opportunity to enact change at the local level. And so with this project, we've had students to enact real, positive, and impactful change in their communities. And the goal is to give you the tools necessary to improve the area and enhance the quality of lives in your communities. Does that sound like something you can do? Does it sound like something that you can achieve or that's doable? All right.
I'm going to tell you it is. I've had students with this project get real change in their communities. Now, it may be simple change, all right, but it's not to say we can't push and try and get bigger changes if that's what you would like to do. Remember I said this last push, you all are seniors. You're out of here in what, 4 months? Right? I want to do things that are impactful for your life. So if you have a problem after you get out of school, how do you deal with it? Right? So that's what we're going to be investigating today. All right. Anybody in here, I know last class we talked about voting, feels like, you know, your vote doesn't count. Your vote is like lost in the mix because you're only one vote. Right? We talked about that last class. There's an election in 2018 where it was actually in Virginia, it was a tie between two candidates. And what ended up happening is they ended up picking the name out of a hat to see who won. If one more person had voted in that local election, it would have changed the entire outcome. Right? So
Wow.
At local level is where your vote really counts. All right? That's where you get the most power. All right? So with this project today, we're going to be researching a problem, and it's going to be probably about 3 weeks that we're going to be working on this, so you don't have to develop an exact topic, an exact question today. We're going to play around with it and kind of narrow down and kind of focus on what are you interested in, what can you see being a change in your community. All right, so that's what these 3 stations that we have set up for you today are. Would you like to explain the stations?
Sure. So we've got 3 stations like Mr. Chaffee said. And over here, our first station is going to be our Henrico County website. So Trey, you're going to log in to henrico.us and you're going to learn more and answer questions about the county. And so you have some questions here on your table, and you can also go to this little chart here and jot some news that you can use. If you want any questions, answers, whatever, you're able to use the sheet on your table or the chart. Our second station is our reading ready station, all right? And this station will give us information on how the county works. And so once you go through the reading ready station, you're going to find out what is a county. You're going to be able to answer questions like, what services does the county provide to you? You're going to name 3 sources of money that provide services for the county. So your questions are here. You can also use this chart right here on the wall behind you. And then the last station is our brainstorm and investigative issues station, station 3. And so over here, you're going to brainstorm some ideas and topics with Mr. Chaffee. Again, you have paper, you have sticky notes, you can put your ideas, thoughts all up on your chart. Any possible topics you have, you can brainstorm to come up with your research project. So these things can be done, this project can be done individually as well as a team, all right? Any questions?
And one last thing, of course, stations, we're going to be rotating, so everybody will get a chance to be at each one today.
Yes, yes.
And with this project, like I said, it's really broad and it's hard to narrow down on a topic, but that's what we're here today to do, is help kind of focus. What are you interested in? Everybody's answer had to do with school, but do you realize 4 months, you don't even have to think about school if you don't want to ever again? Right? So it's okay to think outside of school, and it's okay to think about what kind of things would you like to see in your communities, your neighborhoods.
Right.
All right? So again, that's the focus of my station over here. All right, so Ms. Bagby's going to work with y'all.
Yep.
All right, Trey, you good?
All right, so
All right.
ready, set, learn.
Vaccination.
You're going to use that link to answer the questions about Henrico County. That is after you actually go to the henrico.us link. All right. So after you go to the link and review this link, henrico.us, you can also go here if you need to answer those questions, okay? All right.
If you want to see some kind of business come to your community, you need a grocery store, right? How do we get through that steps, right? So it's okay to think outside of school. And I have topics here that we can kind of break down. So we'll look at all these and then kind of think, what are a couple maybe that you might be interested in? And then we'll kind of play with those, okay?
You want to read on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask. Y'all need pencils. Where's your little bucket?
These topics that you might be interested in doing a little bit more research on?
What's
Recreation after school. So that'd be like the one we talked about where I had a student who wanted to add a park to their neighborhood, but they also wanted to add a basketball court, right? So we can go through the process of, well, let's find some land. All right, let's take a look and see how much would it cost to get a basketball-sized court paved. All right, how much would a basketball hoop be? How much would the whole project cost? And we can get to the point of getting a petition together, having people sign the petition, so you have a packet if you want to take that to the Henrico County Board of Supervisors and say, look, here's the cost, I have support from the community, what's the next step? And you can get it done.
To a good start because I'm going to go check on Trey.
like have it expand,
Right.
expand throughout the county, the city,
Mm-hmm.
and just like let people know that's what I want to do and what I
Right.
want to change is just to give people what we have.
Right. The opportunity,
Yeah,
right?
the opportunity to get back on their feet if they already down.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's a good one. If you don't want to pick a second one, you don't have to, because I feel like you have a really strong one there. But we can, if you have another one that's interesting, just as a backup.
And you're going to describe the purpose of 3 departments below. So go back to the Henrico.us lab and go on the top of the website. Choose departments right there. All right. And once you go to the departments tab, describe 3 of the departments below. So you can just pick any 3. So one that I told you about today.
We'll do board of super.
Yeah.
Had people do projects about adding a basketball court to their neighborhood. I've had people look at how much would it cost to add a park to their neighborhood and what process would they have to go through. So I want you to keep kind of an open mind as far as things that you would be interested in seeing. If you develop a project that you really like, we can take it all the way up to the Henrico County Board of Supervisors. I know we've had Dr. Nelson here from the Varina District that he says to make change with the board, it takes between five days and a month for them to vote on something. All right, so like we can work with this project if you really want to. So I want you to pick something that's meaningful to you and that you would like to see change.
You can pick human resources. All right. And pick another one you like to.
Finance.
Okay. So we've gotten to a good place. We've gotten to a good place in our lesson and with our stations. What have you learned so far? I've heard some good conversations and some good dialogue and discussions. What have you learned so far? Anyone want to share?
That you can actually change. You can actually change the county. What you do.
You can make change, right?
You can
And I
make
want you to
change.
feel that way because you all can. Y'all citizens, right?
Right.
Do you want to share what topic you were kind of thinking about?
Yeah. Poverty, like donation clothes, toys, like things that we have that other people don't. We give to them.
Right.
You know, make donations, get a group of people, and send out, you know, Christmas time, kids don't have the toys. We can all get together, get some toys, and then send it out to those, and then we can expand it as
Right.
we go on. And as it get bigger, everybody will know. That's what we do.
Right.
Right.
Awesome.
And Shaynon, something I said to you a few months ago, you have a what? Remember we were talking about voting? You have a what? A voice. Very good.
Mm-hmm. Jerron, what'd you learn today? What do counties provide for us?
They run elections and run hospitals.
Yeah, so they provide services, right? Like hospitals, transportation, right? They take our tax money and they don't just go spend it on vacations, right? They actually do stuff with it.
Yeah. How about you, Trey?
What's something you saw?
You can share whatever it is that you learned.
I learned what year the county was established.
Did that surprise you?
Yeah,
What year was it?
1611.
Hey, 1611 on that website, so that's a long time ago, right? That's a long time
What are
ago.
some other things? Because you were really interested in what? The 3 what?
Departments, board of supervisors, human resources and finance.
Which one did you find the most interesting?
Human resources, the hire and support lines for the employees.
Yeah. And we actually had a member from the Board of Supervisors to come and visit us a couple weeks ago. Does anybody remember that? Anybody remember who that person was? Anybody remember? It was Reverend Tyrone Nelson, our vice chairman from the Board of Supervisors, came and visited us.
I'm really excited for this project, y'all, because I do hear some passion, especially people I've talked to about topics. And that's what I would like to see. Ms. Bagby and I are here to help, and we want you to develop this project. And if you want to take it to the next level, we're here. We want to help push you and get you to that point, right? So remember, the goal is you're graduating here in 4 months, right? You never have to think about me again after you leave school if you don't want to, all right? But I want to give you the tools to be able to, yeah, I know you'll think about me, thank you. But I want to give you the tools. If you have a problem in your life, how do we fix it, right? So that's what we're going through with this project.
So, Mr. Chaffee and I, thank you for joining our Virginia U.S. Government class today, along with our wonderful students here. We hope that you enjoyed our community improvement project, where we have been learning about Henrico County government. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you again.
Bye.
Bye.